What if achieving everything you've ever wanted in your life all came down to shifting your mindset? This is what we believe at the Mindset Flex podcast. Buckle up and get ready to expand your mind and get uncomfortable. And welcome to this episode. This is your host, Elise, and we also have Erhard here.
Buckle up, kids. This one's going to be a good one.
Today, we're talking about you can't live where you vacation. Have you ever heard that?
I have. I've heard that quite a bit, actually.
So I wanted to start with a story. The story of actually like what inspired me. So we've both traveled a lot.
Yes.
You've also lived in Slovakia for like a year and a half.
I traveled a bunch through Europe. Yep.
Yeah. The first thing I did after high school was move to New Jersey and became your roommate.
That was a great time in our lives.
That was great. Then I moved down to West Palm for a bit too. But none of it was kind of like, I want to live here because I love this place. Like I love both of those places. They're pieces of home, pieces of my heart. But where I always dreamed of living was Colorado, literally.
Same.
Yeah, you too. I remember having those conversations. So I have been coming to Colorado since high school. And my parents actually started that trend because they would go on vacation to Colorado every summer. And then some of the times they would bring me. And one of the times, this was actually the time that I lived in Florida voluntarily, I guess. I just ended up staying. I was like, God, if I get a job tomorrow, I'm going to stay in Florida. It was so weird.
You got that job.
I got the job. So I was meant to be there. And it was like my rehab with God. But that's a story for another time. So I'm in Florida, South Florida, West Palm. And I actually do love that area. I have really good memories. We go back all the time. We're actually going in like 2 weeks. And I'm very excited for that.
Me too. It's going to be good.
But to live there for someone who like loves snow and loves the mountains is not fun. It's not ideal. And I was struggling hard. And my parents were going to Colorado and it was September and they were like, hey, do you want to come with us? And I was like, oh my gosh, do I want to come? Like, yeah, obviously, you know, being 22, your dream isn't to go on vacation with your parents, but I just needed to get out of Florida so bad. So I went with them. And this was actually the first time that I went to South Colorado. I've always been to Denver and Boulder. Boulder was where I was supposed to go to college. Spent time in Breckenridge, Copper, Rocky Mountain National Park. But this was the first time for me to go south. And do you remember in 2013, Ski Magazine's front cover was Telluride?
Dude, I totally remember you bringing that issue to one of the ski trips.
Yeah, I think we were in Vermont. And I was like, guys, look at this place. Like, this is in America. It just
this is in America.
It looked insane.
That's actually true because you can't leave the country.
I can't leave the country. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, this looks like the Alps. This looks insane. We're going to come here. Like, this is the dream. Like, literally, the dream was just to ski in Telluride once, to take one ski trip to Telluride. So when my parents were going to Southern Colorado, going to Telluride and Ouray and Ridgeway, I was like, are you kidding? Yes, of course I'm going to come. It was September. So you know, not to ski or not to experience the summer, but I still was like, this is going to be it. I'm going to experience my dream place. And they love the hot springs. I'm not so hot on the hot springs.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Especially the hot springs that they go to. It's like, I mean, it's cool.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. I definitely can't see myself spending more than like a couple of hours at one of those places.
No, I think we can do like an hour and then we're good. So we had one car and they were going to Ouray and I'm like, yeah, I can't spend all day at the hot springs. Can I take the car? And they're like, yeah, of course. So I drove to Telluride by myself. I've never been there. This was my first time in Telluride, 2013. And I remember driving in and just being like, oh my gosh, like this is it. And I drove up to Mountain Village. I parked at like the only garage, the free parking garage. I found it, which is wild because we ended up like living right next to that place. Yeah. So I parked there and I didn't know anything. I'm like, I just want to go on a hike. And I took the gondola up because the gondola starts from that parking garage. And I went on the village trail or that trail up on the mountain. I even forget what it's called now. That's not the Mountain Village Trail. Something.
Was
one
it
of
the
those.
Ridge Trail?
No, it wasn't the Ridge Trail. It's like the big trail up on the mountain. But whatever, you just walk across it. And I remember like sitting down and I'm like, I'm going to live here. Like, I just remember literally sitting down and I'm like making that decision. I'm going to live here. And I got so excited that after I came back from my hike, I called one of my friends and I was like, dude, I'm already depressed that I'm going to leave this place. Like, I literally already feel depressed. And he's one of the people that like we go on ski trips with. And he was like, well, yeah, that's part of life. This was like,
That's part of life.
this was a very big moment for me because he's older. He's always been someone who I looked up to. I admire him. I always hoped that my life would turn out somewhat like his life. He's very successful, has a great marriage, has a, like everything, like the whole package. And that was the first time that he said something that I did not agree with. Like in my heart, in my gut, I just was like, there's no way. And again, he's someone who makes good money, who can go on vacation all the time. And he does. He travels a lot. And I remember calling him and just being like, why is it that I don't live here? Like, I just felt so depressed that I had to leave this place. And I'm like, I don't ever want to feel this way. I don't ever want to like go on vacation and then be sad to go home. Like, I don't want to feel sad to go home. I want to feel great. Like, I just want to feel this amazing feeling like, yes, I get to go home and my home is like amazing. And he was just like, no, that's called post-vacation blues. Every time
there's a term for it too.
There's a term.
Post-vacation blues.
Post-vacation blues. He literally said that. He's like, dude, every time we go on a ski trip and I go back to work, I'm depressed for a week.
Damn. We don't have that issue. We generally go somewhere and then within like 3 or 4 days, we're like, man, I cannot wait to get back home.
Well, now, because we made that happen. But here's like the huge, gigantic light bulb moment that I hope every freaking person who's listening to this realizes that. What was said in that moment, I just need you to know that both of us were in the same spot. Both of us were living in a place that like was not vacation, was not like our dream place. Both of us were. Both of us longed to live somewhere else that brings us life, that makes us happy, that like is a wow to us. But I guess it's a common belief that you don't live where you vacation. You just vacation there. But the thing is, if you're not happy in your environment, you got to change that.
Change it. Just change it.
Well, yeah. But
all right, so hold on. Let's go back to you're in Mountain Village. You're overlooking this beautiful valley. Telluride is down below. You call this dude. You're like, yo, I want to move here. And he's like, that's not how the world operates.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
100%. That's not how the world operates. And I just was like, I didn't say anything because I like believed it, right? Like it's like someone I look up to. I didn't say anything. I was like, oh shoot. Really? Like it was like something crushed because I was just frustrated. I was like, why don't I live here? Why can't I live here? Like there's just no way. And I actually went back the next day and I took the gondola again. And when I took the gondola a couple times, every single person that was in the gondola, I was like, I have to talk to them. Like if they live here, I have to talk to them. I have to ask them how they moved here, like how, right? But I feel like most people, they just shut it down. They're like, well, this is not how the world works. You don't live where you vacation and that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How many people say to us like, oh my gosh, you guys live in Breckenridge?
I wish I could live there.
I wish I could live there.
Oh my God, it's like heaven.
Yeah. And what's your job? You literally help people move here.
Like I literally sell the lifestyle of living in the mountains and I love what I do.
Because people do it all the time. Like people do it all the time. So I don't know where this conception came. You can't live where you vacation. You live wherever you want to.
You live wherever you want to live, dude. Come on. Like there's so many people that are just stuck in suburbia and just,
yeah.
Oh, I can't get out of here. Like, sure. Like I understand people have families, people have jobs, like you have contracts. I totally get that. But if you truly go somewhere where you feel like your heart is on fire to be there, you're going to do whatever it takes to actually uproot and start new roots at that place.
Yeah. I mean, everything has a price. Everything has a price. Dude, everything has a cost. So let's say you have a 9-to-5 job and you have this contract with your job and you have, you're in suburbia and you have a house, whatever, right? Like you have roots there. Would it have a cost for you to pack everything up and move to a completely strange place? Absolutely. It's a huge cost.
Can we just share with the listeners what we did?
I know. Well,
like,
I'm about to share that.
Okay, let's go.
I just want to share, like, people think, oh, I just can't do it because it has a cost. But do you know what else has a cost? You not doing it.
That cost is a lot more.
I think that costs a lot more. Like, that costs a lot more. So it's just your choice on what price do you want to pay. Do you want to pay the price of being unhappy where you are? Right? Like that's your price.
Yeah,
being unhappy where you are. Yeah. Price of regret.
Like not doing it.
Yeah. Or do you want to pay the price of getting uncomfortable AF? Maybe not even having a bed to sleep on. Maybe having to start from ground zero. And I just want to share that's what we did.
More than once.
More than once, yeah. We literally were on our honeymoon, driving across the country, and both of our dream has been to move to Colorado for the longest time. We've both been to Telluride separately and together. And that was our goal. That was our dream. And yeah, of course, we had our roots. We were actually at that time in New Jersey, and we had a lot of roots in New Jersey. So to literally go on this honeymoon and then in the middle of the trip, just be like, actually, we're not coming back.
Well, we are coming back, but it's just to pack the car and then drive right back to Colorado.
Yeah. And it was wild. Actually, neither of us really had stable jobs or anything. We didn't even get to move to Telluride, to our dream place. We moved to Montrose, which was like an hour and a half away, but we're like, we don't care. We just didn't want to pay the price of being unhappy. We didn't want to pay the price of living somewhere where, like, sure, we love Jersey. We love Jersey.
How long did it take us to get from Montrose to Telluride? Like 5 months, 4 months? Not that long, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not that long. And when we first applied for this apartment that we didn't even know we would get, but somehow, like, by God's grace, we got it, we literally were sleeping on the floor, like on the ground. Do you remember that?
It was brand new carpets.
Brand new carpets.
We got some actual, like, a duvet, like a blanket.
We just put it on the ground.
We just put a blanket on the ground and we had a sheet on top of that.
And we were so happy.
So happy.
Like,
and we got the 2-bedroom. Do you remember why we got the 2-bedroom?
Yeah, we're like, we're going to host Bible studies,
bro.
and we're going to have people here. Yeah. So we went for the 2-bedroom, slept on the ground, had like we had nothing. We literally at that time had absolutely nothing, both of us. I've been an entrepreneur for like 4 years at that time, or 5 years. And as an entrepreneur, you go up and down. And at that place in my life, I definitely was down.
Yeah. I mean, I did whatever I could. I picked up jobs from Craigslist.
Yeah.
I drove for a limo company. I split wood for church members.
Actually, remember that first job that we had in Colorado? The first thing we did.
Oh, I remember this. You were like super pregnant.
I was super pregnant.
I think I found this job on Craigslist.
You
it
did.
was like a gig for like $200 or something.
We
literally went to
Ridgeway.
We went to Ridgeway. It was like an art show.
Outside,
yep. Like tents, the whole nine. And we helped one of the vendors dismantle his entire display.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're super pregnant.
Well, when he says super pregnant, he means we actually found out that I was pregnant a week into living in Colorado while we're sleeping on the floor. And I was extremely sick.
Yeah, by super pregnant, I mean super sick.
Like so sick. Like
so
I was
sick.
in the hospital, I think, after that on an IV because I was literally so freaking sick. So we needed money. And I remember we got $200 for that job. And we were like, oh my gosh, we have $200.
Yeah.
We have, I don't know, 1/4 of our rent. Or actually, I suck at math. Don't listen to the numbers I just said. Our rent was like $900 or... I have no idea how much 200 is of 900, but
that's all right. We had some money. We got some food.
And we carried like heavy ass, huge paintings from his display to his car. That's what we did. Like freaking manual labor.
It's great that I'm good at puzzles because that job was like really easy for me.
Yeah. And
I'm also strong. So
I was so sick and pregnant. I'm like, he can't know. We can't tell him. Like, remember that? We're like, we can't tell him because then he'd be like, you can't work, but we needed the money.
he was nice though. He was like, all right, I'll call you guys next year.
Yeah. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like, it's like a couple hours of work. We got $200. This is sweet. That's the place we were like. You guys, we moved
we were enjoying it too.
We loved it.
Oh my!
But we had
amazing.
We had no certainty, and I just remember both of our parents being like, "You guys can't do that. Like, you don't have any jobs. Your life is uncertain. Everything is uncertain." And we were like, "Yeah, but you know what? We're so freaking happy, and this is what we want. So we're gonna grind it out. We're gonna make it happen. Like, no matter what it takes." And that's how we moved to Colorado. We got an apartment, slept on the floor, took Craigslist jobs. Literally, we just grinded for it. And then when we finally moved to Telluride, I was dispatching. Remember that?
And I was driving for that rideshare service. That was the craziness.
Yeah, it was. You were living off of tips.
I was literally living off tips. But also that job got us a ski pass.
Yes, it did.
So you were able to ski for free.
Yeah.
I mean, it required you. Actually, with you dispatching, you got a ski pass as well. But man, yeah, that was crazy. And then I also got a job working for the town of Mountain Village doing maintenance.
Just so we could get housing.
Because
literally housing is insane in places like this, especially in a mountain town. And when we moved, that's why we had to move to Montrose. And then we found a listing. I think it was on Craigslist, actually. And we convinced our friends that we just met in Gunnison to move with us because we couldn't afford it. And nobody could afford it. And they were
absolutely.
like, yeah. So it was a 1-bedroom with a loft, and We were living in there with another couple while I was pregnant.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was absolute craziness. But we did what we had to do to make it work. And I remember when we met the guy that owned that unit. His name was Jeff Badger. He also owned the Thai restaurant in town and a couple other businesses. Like this dude drove, like he was in a wheelchair. He smoked
so much weed.
So much weed, like literally all the time. But he had the biggest heart. He was the nicest dude.
He helped us so much.
So much.
I remember we actually got $100 a day fine for having Walty in there because I guess
man.
I mean, just you guys like moving with a dog. Then I was pregnant with another couple. Like literally,
it's not just a dog. Like that's a Great Dane. Like you can't hide a Great Dane anywhere.
I don't even know how we made it all happen. We moved 6 times in just a 2-year period. It took us 3 years, but we're here. We're in Breckenridge in a log cabin. Freaking, I just ordered a 4-wheel drive convertible. Like what?
I mean, when you say it like that, that could be literally anything, but you ordered a brand new car. BMW M4 competition.
Yeah, it's my dream car.
All-wheel drive.
I ordered my dream car.
Sao Paulo yellow. I can't wait for us to take delivery of that thing. That thing is sick.
I know. And people always look at our lives and I'm like, man, I'm an immigrant. My parents came here with 2 bags.
Same.
2 bags each. And I'm a college dropout.
Same.
You know, like anybody can make it happen.
Dude, if you want to make it happen, you could absolutely make it happen. That's the thing that people don't believe. Like they just get stuck in the social norms and the expectations of society on their lives. And it's like, dude, you got to break free from that.
I know. Like, what do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? Like, that is a heavy, heavy question.
It is.
And most people can't answer that question.
I know. But just start at the basics. Like, I started at, I want to ski. I want to ski every day.
I want to live in an environment that inspires me.
Yeah.
Simple.
And here we are. So whatever you want, like you can have it. You really can have it. And wherever you want to live, you can live there. You just have to figure out if you want to pay the price or not.
Yeah. Everything comes with a price.
Everything comes with a price.
This is America. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Let's go.
But you can have anything. So that was today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'm going to leave you with make the rest of your life with the best of your life.
Let's go.